In this video, we're going to talk about what to do when you're doing everything right and it still isn't working. So this could be your work, your career, whatever. Generally, if you're doing everything right and it's not working, it means that there's an external force somewhere that's causing you issues and forcing you to disconnect from what's important. And it's keeping you from those results that you are working so hard for. So the first thing you should do is consider your surroundings. This is generally going to be your home, the people that you live with, whether they're family or roommates. Those things can cause you problems without you really even realizing it. So is your house clean-ish? It doesn't have to be perfect, but if your house is a mess, that makes things more difficult. An example is if my desk gets gross, I have trouble focusing. Amazing. So if I pick up my desk and put things where they belong, I'm then able to produce better work. I recently sat down with my family, and the topic I'm keeping to myself, but because that's personal. I did ask them for some help with some stuff that was causing me unnecessary stress. Working for yourself can be very difficult because there's no one to tell you, hey, do that. I'm now paying somebody to help do that. But generally, you've got to make the right calls. And if you're not making the right ones, it may be that you're having extra stress because some other stuff is going on around you. Address those things. In fact, when I'm done with this video, I'll be telling my wife how wonderful she's been lately. By a text message, of course. She's at work. Next, how are you eating? Our diets play a huge role in how we perform in day-to-day life. So if you're not performing in your day-to-day life, you may want to consider that you're not eating the right stuff. Generally, I don't like tracking macros and stuff like that. As a fitness guy, I'm not going to beat you up about what you eat. I understand that speed is a factor. The fact that you can drive through McDonald's and pick up food is a really big deal. But I'm horrified with the idea that I've seen McDonald's from 20 years ago that hasn't gone bad yet. There's no mold. That scares the hell out of me. So I try to avoid places like that. So the easiest way for me is to do something called meal prepping. I love Mexican food and I love Asian food. So it gives me a little bit of creative things I can do with something. So this week I made 2 pounds of ground chicken with some salsa-like vegetables and Mexican-style seasonings. And I will turn that into nachos. I'll throw it into taco shells and eat it that way. I can just eat it with a fork. Throw some guacamole in there for some avocado. So I can be creative with that. Asian's a little bit harder, but generally I'll make a rice dish with ground chicken or something similar. I can do steak or chicken thighs or chicken breast, etc. And then I can throw that into a wrap if I need a little bit of a change. Sometimes I'll throw some peanuts on it for a little crunch. And that works for me, and that way I'm eating healthier foods, and I'll avoid eating some of the garbage food that I might have eaten otherwise. Last but not least, I'm assuming you knew I was probably headed in this direction. Are you moving at all? Sitting in front of a computer all day is not the best way to build a healthy body. And generally, a healthy body creates a healthy mind, which helps you make better decisions. So for me, I do CrossFit, and you'd probably expect me to try to preach to you that you should too. But it's not right for everybody. It's right for me because I'm a high achiever, and I like doing things that are really difficult. You may or may not know that I used to refer to myself as a cripple a couple of years ago. I have severe nerve damage and some internal brokenness, but I do CrossFit generally about 5 times a week. Now, for you, if you're not doing anything, all you need to do is take a 20 to 30 minute walk. You don't need to get your heart rate super high. You don't need to do anything crazy. If you're a little on the heavier side and have some fat you'd like to get rid of, try taking some protein before that, 30 grams or so, and do that first thing in the morning. So it's out of your way. You don't have to think about it. It's done. It'll give you some time to wrap your head around the things you want to accomplish. And then you'll feel really good going through the rest of your day. I generally go to my gym at 5:30 in the morning. I get up at 4:30, throw myself together, get to the gym, and it's all done. And I can feel good about that all day long, which then has me producing better work. So look at the other parts of your life if your work isn't producing what you need, because sometimes those external factors can have a drastic impact on how you perform.